Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Muhammad Sharul Azri bin Suhadi, and now I will present to you about our introduction. As we know, how important of the transport equipment. Transport equipment is used to move load from one point of location to another, like mobile car, trolley, cart, and so on. Also, transport equipment can be manipulate its movement of its load when it being carried. It can be moved horizontally, vertically, diagonally. Yes, it can do that. Transport equipment exists to help to move the load easier and with less energy needed. Thus, it also make our job faster and more efficient. And that's how important of this transport equipment in our era. Or not to forget that transport also can be manually or au- sorry, automatically like engine or motor. As for our problem statement, we need to design a transport equipment that able to hold 500 kilogram of load. Also, we need to design the transport equipment that able to move the load horizontally and vertically. Generally, we need to create a hand wind stacker system that help the user to move and handle the load easier.
Okay, we move on towards the next part of our slide, which is the conceptual design of our project. So, our project consists of three main parts, which consists of our pulley system, which moves the lift vertically, and the other one is the rack and pinion, which moves the forklift horizontally, and finally, our very own tire system, which makes the forklift even more stable. Next, we have our 3D image of our four main parts that we build ourselves, which is our chassis, lower fork, upper fork, and tire system. These four parts, these four main parts is what we build by ourselves to make it look more original. Next, we have our product rendition of our design. This is the real view with our selected material, which is mostly aluminium, and this is what it looks like. Next, we go to our 2D drawing model. We starting with chassis. Here we have the dimensioning of our chassis, and we built it like this so that it can fit with other parts, and the chassis acts like a base to our forklift. And we move on, we have our upper fork of our model. We have built we have put our rack in our upper fork so that it can work with our pinion, which located in our lower fork, as we can see in the next slide. And this is our dimension for our lower fork. We move on to our tire system, and this is the dimensioning of our tire system. And there are a lot of random numbers with decimals in our drawing here, because when we build our frame of our tires, we built it with angular dimensions, and therefore we have this random decimal when we dimension it linearly. Okay, after that we have our assembled design. The assembled design, we put together our design when we draw it in 2D form so that we can see our full view of our design in 2D. And finally, we have our exploded view with the bill of material. And this is our exploded view of our drawing. And on the right side of our drawing, we have the bill of material, which consists of a lot of parts that help make our design fits snugly and make it so that we have our design. And that's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nur Akmal bin Hairul Afandi, and I will talk about how our product works. There are three major components in our product, which is the vertical movement, lateral movement, and the wheel system. Let's first talk about our vertical movement system. The vertical movement system uses a pulley system where the user will crank up the hand winch that will wind up the steel cable that pass along through multiple pulleys. Multiple pulleys is used to distribute the tension and load on the steel cable, as the steel cable will hold on the load of the lower fork, upper fork, and the load on the forks. Next, we'll carry on with the lateral movement. The lateral movement uses rack and pinion system, as a handle will control a shaft which has two pinion gears. When the handle is cranked, the pinion gears will move, and it will also move the rack which is on the upper fork. The upper fork will move along the railings which is on the lower fork. This system will be stopped when the handle is stopped or the pinion gears hit the backside of the upper fork, as a prevention from the upper fork from slip from the railing of the lower fork. This system is such a complex system for us because there is a problem of stability. When the upper fork is moved laterally, the load on the front side of the upper fork will cause instability and tiltation on the upper fork. To avoid this problem, we have concluded to include multiple shafts in our product, as multiple shafts will hold on and give more stability to the upper fork. When the front side of the upper fork will cause instability, the back shaft will hold on to avoid that instability. Hence, the complexity is resolved. Last but not least will be our wheel system. The wheel system is inspired with tank wheels. The wheel system will hold on two wheels and a system where it will tilt on the wheels. It is an improvement for us because imagine there is a cable along the path of our product. The front wheel will have an inclination, but because of this wheel system, the system will tilt the front wheel and the back wheel will give support and stability to our product. This is why we designed the wheel system to be that way, to give support and stability. It is also applied when the back wheel have an inclination, as the front wheel will exchange roles and be the support and stability of the system. That is how our product works and the improvement made for our products.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amin bin Muhammad Zin. So I will continue this presentation with my topic, which is finite element analysis. So from our design, the material that we choose is aluminium 1100-H10, and the yield strength of this material is 151 megapascal. From our design, we found out that the maximum stress that we get from this design is 13.52 megapascal, which is not exceeding from the yield strength value. So it means here there is no plastic deformation happen here, because as we know that if the value of the stress is exceeding from its yield strength, plastic deformation would happen. As we already know that if we not exceeding from yield strength, the yield strength value, it means that our material here will only in the elastic regions. It means here the material would return to its original value, original shape after the load is removed. So next we will moving to the safety factor. From our design, we managed to get the maximum value of safety factor is 15. As we know that the recommended safety factor in range of between 4 until 6. However, from our design, we couldn't get that value. However, the higher safety factor means the more safer for our design. So it means here our design is safe enough to be used. As the conclusions from our design, we have able to achieve all the required objective. The main objective for our model is to move the load horizontally. I think that's all for me, and thank you.